What is going on, guys? Today, it's December 31st. It's late in the season or early, depending on where you're at. But we're going to be changing our lower unit oil out of a 150 Evinrude. Most, if not all, lower unit oils are replaced the same way. Pretty well. Replace the lower plug, or you remove the lower plug, move the upper plug, drain the oil out, put new oil in. However, I've never done it before. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that have never done it before, and I'm gonna do it this year. So I actually already replaced or removed the lower plug and the upper plug and drained the oil out. Show you guys that real quick. I started up the little buddy heater, which is huge this time of year for even this garage. But anyway, this is your Evinrude XP150. There was two screws that you needed to replace, two plugs. The lighting's really good back here, so I apologize for that, but there's a plug there. That's your upper plug. There's a plug right here down low, and pretty well what you do is you remove the lower plug and then remove the upper plug, and it all flows out into there. Mine took, a considerable amount of time to be drained out because it's cold, and yeah, didn't want to flow out very good, so took a little longer. All you really need for that, all I needed for that was a flathead screwdriver, and we just drained it out. So it's been draining for a couple days, but I just haven't got around to it. So right now the next steps are, put the new oil in with the pump. Got it from Walmart. Doesn't need anything special. Need a pump and some lower unit oil, obviously. Then yeah, you pretty well hook up the I'll show you guys how to do it, but you hook the pump up to your bottle, hook the bottle and the pump up to your lower unit oil, start pumping. Put the top plug, once the oil comes out of the top plug, put your top plug in, remove the lower plug, or remove your attachment from the lower plug, and then put that lower plug in. Pretty easy. Now, one thing that you will need to watch out for when you're draining it, actually, is there's two things to look out for. Milky oil, and you'll know what I'm talking about. It'll look like almost like peanut butter color oil come out. That means water's in your oil. That means you got a leak in your seals somewhere. I would advise going to your local mechanic shop or something and have them either pressure test it and try to find out where that leak's at, or just have them replace the whole 9 yards. I was actually lucky enough 2 years ago to have to replace my lower unit housing because I had water in my lower unit oil, and it froze and cracked my lower unit. Not a good deal. You cannot replace, or you cannot repair that crack, or I couldn't anyway. It was a big enough crack that it was just big, and they're cast aluminum, so they don't really weld up all that great. Now, could I have put JB Weld on it and just kind of ran with it? Sure. But typically you can find a housing pretty cheap. I think I paid 120 bucks for mine, and then paid a bunch of money to get all the lower guts into it and swapped over. But anyway, that's a little neither here nor there. If you see milky oil, get it to the mechanics. That's pretty well the gist of that. The other thing you should look out for is your plugs, or at least my plugs anyway, have a magnetic cap on them. You can find chunks and bits and pieces of your gear on there. I wouldn't really be too worried about that because over time they will wear. Now, if you're finding shavings or really big chunks, that might be something just to take a few pictures of and then show it to your mechanic. It's always not really a good thing to find chunks of metal in your lower unit. That's pretty well it. I'm going to get to it, and if I think of anything else, I will show it to you, and we'll go from there. Alright, so boat's a mess, so get over it. I'm cleaning it up. Anyway, this is the lower unit pump. Pretty well. It's I think this end goes in your bottle, this nice little metal adapter piece goes in your lower plug area, and this goes in, oh well, I don't know, I think that actually screws into your plug there. And then I'm not using anything special, just, you know, Super Tech marine lowered unit gear oil, 80W90, about a quarter of it. I really don't know how much it takes, but judging by that really nice puddle and small, I think I used a pie pan actually. I think a quart should do it. Like I said, it'll just, you plug it in, and once it starts coming out the top, you plug everything up. So yeah, that's it. That's kind of the setup we're going to be using, and we'll put everything in there. All right, so had our first real plug issue. This adapter will not fit my plugs, so the actual plastic piece does line up with the threads, so that's good. But these threads were too small. You can actually see the top and bottom holes are actually threaded and sized the same, and you can see I'm going in and out, and it's not grabbing anywhere. So that means, you know, our adapter won't work. It says it fits most. It will not fit a 1990 Evinrude. Anyway, there's our bottom plug. There's our top plug, you know, standard Phillips. Just remove it out of there and down low there. So now I'm going to screw the top off of this lower unit oil, put in our pump, and get to pumping. All right, so if you're extremely observant, that is not the original bottle. That is. I had the pump would not fit on that bottle. As you can see, the handle kind of loops down there, and then the pump would not fit all the way down into the curved area there. So it's straight. It doesn't have enough clearance. So I actually had just a standard, you know, motor oil laying around that you put in your car, and it was empty. Poured the gear oil into that, pumped it up. Now it's going. Also found something cool. If I would have just read the back of this thing, it fits all those. The metal adapter does not fit an Evinrude, the yellow does. So if I would have just read the directions, we'd have been off to a better start. Anyway, it does fit on your standard gear oil, or even your standard motor oil fittings, and we've just been pumping it up. We'll see. I think I got about a half gallon or a half a quarter in there right now. We got a little bit of ways to go. All right, so there you have it. Top screws back in, top plug or bottom plugs back in. Oil's all drained. Oil's new in there. This adapter does not work for Evinrudes. The yellow adapter does, so I'm probably just gonna toss that. Like I said, this is the Hyper Tough, you know, pretty well just Walmart brand pump. It does pretty good if you have the right tools. So go figure. Do not get the Super Tech gear lubricant for the bottle, because the pump will not screw into it. If it does screw into it, I'm just not smart enough to figure it out, and I just poured it into a standard 1 quart oil jug. So that's pretty well it. Took about 20 minutes to do all together. Really not all that bad. I'll definitely be doing it again. I definitely need to be doing it more often than I have been. I've never done it before, and I've owned this boat for almost two and a half years, maybe 3 years. I don't really know, but I've never changed the lower unit oil. The one time I did change the lower unit oil, I had it done by a shop because my lower unit cracked, because there's water in the oil and it will freeze, so it will cause you some issues. And that's why you should do it after every season. Now, some people, when they're doing this, they will, when they're done for the winter or something like that, they'll pull their boat into the garage and pop that lower drain open and just drain all the oil out, leave it like that until they're ready to go fishing again in the springtime. That's probably the best way to do it. However, you know, I wouldn't expect there to be any issues with rust or oil or rust, you know, with the oil, all the oil dripping off. It is pretty sticky oil, 80 weight, I guess, and it's pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy, 20 minutes. Save you a lot of headache, maybe later down the road. So that's going to be it today. Kind of just an informative video. Didn't really have much going on. I've been doing some fishing. Been doing some sauger fishing. I'll get a video of that up. I need to go make a video of that. So, pretty fun though, on the Ohio River. Never done it before. Kind of just walked around and found a spot for shore. So, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for clicking on another one, and we'll catch you next time.